Good afternoon and welcome to the OOH-RAH Report. I am your host, Anthony Cavaretta, and today we are talking about Friday Night Smackdown. And it's been a little while since I've spoken about Friday Night Smackdown on Fox, and I gotta say, I haven't really missed much, because I'll be honest, it does seem like a lot of things have been copy and paste the last few weeks since the last time I did review SmackDown, and nothing much did change. So, yeah, I'm going to get right into it, and the show opens up not with Roman Reigns, but with Daniel Bryan. He basically explains why he thinks he should face Roman Reigns at Fastlane for the Universal Championship, and he brings up a solid argument. Really good promo by Bryan here, explaining how he won his third Elimination Chamber match, and he gets it. The main event is going to be Edge Roman Reigns, but he thinks that, he should get his fair shot. And I agree with him, and I think that even if he's probably going to lose, but I think just to give the fans what they want and give them that match at Fastlane, I think would be really good. So yeah, he does all that, and he actually does drop the idea of having it be a tag match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns against Edge and Daniel Bryan. And I think that may be where they go with this, but based on the main event, we won't get that, but I think we'll get, Edge in his corner, no shenanigans or anything, but I think this should be good, because these two could put on a good match at Fastlane, and I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, and then Roman Reigns comes out, he answers him, he tries to get Jey Uso to jump him, doesn't really work, mostly setting up there's a few more segments where Jey gets jumped by Daniel Bryan, setting up their match tonight, which is a steel cage match. If Daniel Bryan wins, he gets the Universal Championship match at Fastlane, so that, we get to that. And then after that, this is where SmackDown kind of gets a little repetitive for me. And it's mostly because it's the same copy and paste shtick we've seen every single week. So yeah, the next thing up is we get the Street Profits come out. They talk about how they have beef with King Corbin and Sami Zayn after last week's tag match. And then we get a singles match between one half of the Street Profits and King Corbin. That match happens. That match is fairly quick. And then immediately after that, we get Sami Zayn after, the match ends with Corbin winning. And immediately after that, Sami Zayn gets involved with his camera crew outside the ring because he's still doing the documentary gimmick. And then Sami Zayn gets a match with the other half of the Street Profits. So why didn't you just have them do a rematch from last week for a tag match? That doesn't really make sense to me, and it's kind of annoying that we're going to get those two singles matches back to back, which, yeah, it kind of feels like filler. It doesn't really feel like there's any storyline progression here. And, the Street, and I may have missed stuff from the last few weeks, but the Street Profits aren't SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Ziggler and Rude are. Where are they in all of this confusion? We don't even get an acknowledgement from them that they're even doing things, and it's kind of weird to me. And once again, the tag divisions are crap, have been crap for a while, but this just kind of proves to me, you can't even get good storytelling out of these guys. And the Street Profits are one of the most charismatic teams on the roster, and you can't even do that. It kind of just baffles me a little bit. So yeah, then after that, after those nothing matches that we get another nothing match between Dominic Mysterio and Chad Gable. This comes up after another tag match fiasco, as last week Rey Mysterio took a splash from Otis, and he's, they're mad at Chad Gable and Otis. So yeah, this match, once again, it's a good match. Every match so far has been good, but nothing has really stuck to me, and nothing is really keeping me going to watch the show. It kind of just feels like I'm watching it to watch it. It doesn't really give me any satisfaction about what these guys are doing. And yeah, and then, Dominic wins with a surprise roll-up, and Rey attacks Otis on the outside. Great, the feud's not over. I think Dominic and Chad Gable had a really good match, but honestly, I don't know why this, I don't see this feud, I understand it's going to continue to go on, but I don't see anything from it. I really don't, and I get it. Otis has been spinning his wheels since losing the briefcase. Chad Gable's been spinning his wheels for the longest time. And Mysterio, and both the Mysterio family really hasn't done much since Rollins. They had that feud with Rollins earlier this year. So yeah, it's weird. It really is weird to me that they got nothing else to do for these guys, and it sucks. But yeah, fine. It's an exciting feud. I just don't know where it's going. So after that, after commercial, we get Bianca Belair. She's going to take on Shayna Baszler tonight. And I was like, this is like an NXT TakeOver main event. This was an NXT TakeOver main event about a few years ago. And yeah, didn't feel like it. Really didn't feel like it. Just didn't. they're using this as the kind of the way to set up more of Sasha versus Bianca, which was announced last week. I called it months ago. Go check my first Smackdown review for that. I called that months ago, and they're gonna get a tag title match at Fastlane. Like, why? And I understand that. There's Baszler and Jax have a few storylines going on. They got one at NXT from earlier this week as well. But I just don't like. Okay, this match was good. Bianca wins after confusion from the outside from Reginald, who was fired as Carmella's manager or valet, whatever he is, earlier in the night. And Sasha at the end of the night tells him to screw off. So thanks for that, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I know what the end game is for this feud. You're doing the Cena Shawn Michaels 2007, where they may have the tag belts, and then they lose the tag belts, but it's to build the feud for Mania, and I get that all, but it's like, you don't need it. You really don't need it. You really don't. I think Bianca and Sasha has been hyped up for so long, and it's been the end game for so long that it doesn't really. I don't see the point. I really don't see the point in doing this with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who not only do they have this going on, they're both in contention for the Raw Women's title. When Asuka comes back from her supposed injury, and they showed the clip from that tonight again too, and just I don't understand where that's going. And once again, Raw, I know the storylines, I understand that. SmackDown, it really doesn't feel like there's any, like, besides the main event of the women's division and the men's division, there really doesn't feel like any direction. Even the women's division, they have an end goal, they just don't know where the road is to get there. It's really, really, really confusing. And yes, I get it. I haven't watched in 3 weeks, so I haven't really been paying attention as closely as I should. But still, this is on channel 5, guys. So you want people to come in and just immediately just click, and you're right in the action. You're right in the storylines. That's not happening. But I digress, because Bianca wins this match. The seeds are planted once again for her and Sasha to go at it. Whatever. I know the match is going to be good at Mania, because these two are phenomenal talents. They're going to have a solid match, a possibly show-stealing match at WrestleMania, and we have no idea, but we don't know how we're getting there. Yeah, Sasha's the women's champion. Yeah, Bianca won the Royal Rumble. That's it. That's really all you have. And there's no compelling storyline besides, they may win the women's tag titles, and they may have to coincide together to win them, and then they lose them because they can't stay together. Whatever. I've seen it a million times. I'll see it a million more. Whatever. It's just, I digress. It's really annoying that they don't have the proper hype going into this. They don't have the proper storytelling to go further into this. And then after that, we have Murphy taking on Cesaro in kind of a nothing-ish match. Rollins is there on commentary, and Rollins has beef with both guys. Both guys have beef with him. Cesaro makes Murphy tap out, and Rollins is clapping for him at ringside, possibly trying to woo him over like he wooed Murphy over. No mention of Aaliyah, which I'm surprised about, because, that was the catalyst of Murphy leaving. You got to acknowledge that, right? Like, they did mention the Mysterio family, but they didn't mention Aaliyah specifically, and, is she still on TV? I don't know that, but it seems like they kind of phased that part out of the storyline, which is good, but it's just kind of surprising. Once again, the continuity needs to be there. Continuity going forward and backward needs to be there for good storytelling, and I just didn't see that. But yeah, the good match. I really wish they gave him a little longer, but, okay for what it was, and I was over that. And then after that, after a second hype package of the night for Big E's return next week, we get Apollo Cruz. And I knew Apollo Cruz turned heel, and I knew he was doing a Nigerian. He's Nigerian, and they were going to go into his heritage more. Okay. And I saw last week that he gave a nice promo in a Nigerian accent. That accent's not good. I learned that tonight. His accent's not good. And he came out with 2 armed guards. Great. And a spear. Great. I immediately looked at my brother and said, so WWE's trying to capitalize off Black Panther. That's what it felt like. I'm not trying to knock the actual, the dude's heritage. I get it. And I understand him using, him using that as his character. But let him be himself. You know, making him come out with a scarf and a spear and armed guards and emphasizing the accent, it doesn't feel right. I don't know, it feels odd to me. And if this was Apollo's idea, great. I'm happy that he got it over with creative. I don't know that. But once again, I feel like if this was just raw Apollo Crews and him just being raw and a person like he was at the beginning when he started to turn heel early, a few months ago, then I feel like this would have been better. Like this would be great if it was just raw emotion, no Nigerian. Like I'm family, I have royal blood in me. Like you don't need that. I don't think you need that. But once again, if some people enjoy this, more power to them. And if he's enjoying the gimmick himself, more power to him. But to me, I don't think you need it. I don't think you need to have this. You can use that card. You can play that storyline. But I don't think you need the pomp and circumstance they're giving him right now. I think that's a little bit much, in my opinion. But once again, you guys can disagree with me. I 100% understand that. No way. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So yeah. It was good. I like the energy he's giving, and I like the storyline with Big E, and I'm interested to see if that can actually make it all the way to Mania, and we have Big E versus Apollo Crews in the match that we know they can have. That I'm looking forward to. So, and after that, we get Ding Dong Hello, Bayley's new talk show, and I love Bayley in this, and it's great. And Bayley's kind of sad, like she's mad, and she's mad that she doesn't know really what she's doing. And once again, that's really good, and I like that storyline. I'm interested to see where they go with Bayley from here. So, but after that, we get the main event. Cage ready to go. And this is one hell of a cage match, and I really do enjoy it. These Jey Uso and Daniel Bryan, it's the same thing they did with Kevin Owens, and it's just really good. It's really good storytelling from these guys. And Bryan scratching and clawing his way, doing any which way to hurt Jey, and he finally gets the victory. So we will be having Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane for the Universal Championship. I'm excited. And that was a really good match. And once again, Smackdown, for my first time reviewing Smackdown in 3 weeks, 4 weeks actually, and I'll be honest, it's the same thing as I left it. It's not bad. It's not. The matches are good. The people in the matches are good. The problem that I have with SmackDown every week is that I feel like it's just spinning its wheels. It doesn't feel like there's the only storyline progression I've seen is the main events. The women, and that's not even crystal clear. But the men is the only one that really resonates with me, and it's disappointing because you have all this talent and you've shown off all this talent, and I remember a lot of people were saying when SmackDown moving to Fox, it was going to become the workhorse show again, especially because it was headed by Heyman, and yeah, it's kind of like that, but there's no intriguing storylines to get through that. But once again, maybe this is to the common audience. This is what they want to see: just wrestling, being wrestling, and the storylines are an afterthought. To me, I watch wrestling for the storytelling and the action. They got to go hand in hand. I got to be invested to watch the fighting. And the problem with SmackDown that I had this week, besides the main event, I was not invested. I was not glued to my TV thinking what's going to happen next week. Raw, I got that from Raw this week because of Bobby Lashley and the storyline of him earning the championship and beating The Miz and becoming the almighty WWE champion. And they showed that tonight, that he's going to get a championship celebration on Monday. Great. Cool. But at the end of the day, SmackDown has not done that for me. You guys can disagree with me. I would like you to disagree with me. Please comment down below. Did you enjoy SmackDown this week? Do you think that they're doing the build to Fastlane and doing the build to WrestleMania right? Not the main events, not the Universal Championship picture, but everything in between. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like and subscribe button. They do go a long way. And I will see you all